Hello everybody, welcome back to Jared Opens a Box. Yes, it's just me this week, but that's okay because we have some really cool stuff for you guys today. We are doing some more Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. Probably not shouldn't come to a surprise. Obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's is a very big part of the channel here. It's pretty much here just about every week it seems. But we have some pretty cool figures for you guys today. More Youtooz figures. These three are probably some of the most popular characters in the Five Nights at Freddy's series, so it was only fitting that they would end up being part of this next wave of figures. Although at this point, as I'm recording this, there's already like two more waves. There's another not sister location, I wish there was. There's another security breach wave, as well as another FNAF 1 wave, all of which will most likely be on the channel at some point. But yeah, let's just get right into this one. We're going to kick things off with one of, if not the most popular characters in Five Nights at Freddy's, Springtrap. So, obviously, he doesn't really even need much of an introduction. Many people know who Springtrap is at this point. He's been around since Five Nights at Freddy's 3 in 2015, and he's been, like I said, probably one of the most popular characters. He's the purple guy inside of a Springtrap suit, the old Spring Bonnie suit from the original Fredbear's Family Diner. He ends up getting locked inside and is spring-trapped. Basically, the spring locks go off and he is crushed inside of it, and he ends up possessing the suit, and that is Springtrap. So let's take a look at the rest of the box there. It looks like it is about the same as the FNAF 1 box, which doesn't make any sense because Springtrap was not in FNAF 1, at least not physically. It was possible that he could have been in the safe room, but we don't know that. So if you open it up, there is actually a quote inside. It says, "Join me, little one. In the back room, I have a surprise for you." So obviously, as you know, Springtrap, the purple guy, was responsible for the missing children incident that ended up leading to the animatronics getting possessed in the first place. One of the biggest parts of what kickstarted everything in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. So, you know, case in point there. I guess is there really... Oh, I'm stupid. I forgot that you take this off first. How did I forget that you take the sleeve off? Like, what am I doing? I had done this so many times. So there we go. We have the sleeve. The back says, was that a child I just heard? I'm assuming that is a reference to the Balloon Boy audio that he used in FNAF 3 to distract Springtrap. And then the bottom says, "I always come back," which is probably the most iconic line of William Afton's, the Purple Man, Springtrap, whatever you want to call him. And there he is in the front. This is number 14 of the normal FNAF collection. So there's still quite a few figures that we're still waiting on. So plenty of FNAF merch coming soon. And there he is. There is Springtrap. It's fairly well detailed. The only thing that I will say is that his back is not detailed much at all, which is kind of interesting. I feel like all the, the tattered bits and the wires and everything like that would have continued onto the back, but I guess not. I'm pretty sure it does in the games, so I'm not sure why that would not be the case here. But yeah, he has plenty of wires, plenty of rips and tears throughout the suit. He's got the teeth, the very gross-looking teeth, the Youtooz winky eyes, and he is, of course, missing an ear. Not really much detail on that, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. There's no instances of this being purple guy inside. I feel like it would have been kind of cool if they had put something in there, but there's nothing. It kind of just looks like he's just got an endoskeleton. And there's his feet down there as well. Completely, there's no more suit, basically. It's just the endoskeleton feet with some wires. And then he is on a base as well, so easy to help him stand up. Overall, it's a fairly cool figure. I do wish that the back had some more details. I think that the withering on the front of the figure does look very well done. So I think overall it's a fairly good figure. I'm sure a lot of people though will notice that the lack of detail on the back of the figure, and you know, that's the first thing I noticed when I took him out of the box. All right, here he is, one of, if not the most mysterious characters, Golden Freddy. We still know absolutely nothing about him after all of these years. He debuted all the way back in 2014 in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and we still know pretty much nothing about him. There's so many theories about who possibly could be possessing Golden Freddy, but no one knows for sure, and that remains one of the biggest mysteries in all of FNAF history. There's not even proof that, like, when all the other souls moved on, there's no proof that Golden Freddy's did. If you go by Ultimate Custom Night's endings, it makes it seem like he's probably still stuck in that purgatory, you know, with, well, previously with William Afton. I guess Afton did eventually escape, if you're going by the Fazbear Frights books, but who knows, honestly? Who knows what happened with Golden Freddy? But there is the box, pretty much the same as Springtrap's. This one does make sense because he was in FNAF 1, but as you can see, he does not have eyes that glow in the dark, which makes sense. Golden Freddy really didn't have eyes. I'm assuming it will say "It's Me" somewhere on this box, so we will see. Oh, that's so cool. I'll show you guys the back in a second. It says Golden Freddy, number 12 of the FNAF lineup. There's the side, there's the "It's Me" up there. The back of the box is a Youtooz recreation of Golden Freddy's jump scare from FNAF 1, where it's just that still image of him that would end up crashing the game. And then on the side, it does in fact say "It's Me" at the bottom. So the inside of the box says, "He's here and always watching," which I believe is a reference to Ultimate Custom Night. The whole story with the one you should not have killed being the Golden Freddy's soul that's keeping William Afton in that Ultimate Custom Night to punish him over and over again, that kind of thing. It's a lot to explain, you know, like, it's really hard to explain all of that without it, like, making any sense, but if you're a FNAF fan, you probably understand what I'm saying. If not, none of this makes any sense, I'm sure. But here is Golden Freddy. Very cool figure. Obviously, they had to make him in this slumped position because this is how he looked when he appeared in FNAF 1. And in FNAF 1, he was just an Easter egg. You had to look at a poster in one of the cameras that would change to a picture of his face, and then he would pop up in the office. If you did not put up your monitor in like 2 seconds, then that jump scare that I showed you earlier would have appeared, and it would crash your game. So that was his only appearance in FNAF 1. Over time, he ended up becoming more prominent in the story. Not so much nowadays, now that we're in the security breach era. He hasn't really been popping up, probably because his story is pretty much over at this rate. But there is Golden Freddy, very well done figure. It's not really gold, it's actually more yellow, almost like a mustard yellow is the best way to describe it. But he does actually have the Youtooz winky eyes. You can just briefly see them right there. They are black, just to kind of make it look like he does not have eyes, which in FNAF 1 is very true. He does have little white pinpricks of eyes, like the tiniest little thing, but it's not very noticeable if you aren't looking. Obviously, the figure itself is probably similar to Freddy's because he is just a recolor of Freddy. You know, but I like the fact that they actually gave him the slumped position, making it look like this is how he was in FNAF 1. And he also has his microphone down here. It's just sitting in the palm of his hand. So that is a fairly cool detail. But yeah, there's Golden Freddy. I love this figure. I think it's really cool, and the box is definitely going to get him some bonus points because I really like how they did the jump scare on the back of the box. I think that is awesome. So kudos to Youtooz for that one. I think that was really cool. We have one more today. This is a really cool one, actually. I'm pretty excited to see this one. So this one is based off of the 8-bit minigames that played in FNAF 2 and FNAF 3. I guess FNAF 4 had kind of 8-bit minigames as well. But this one is actually from FNAF 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. In one of the end of night mini games, I believe it was the one with Freddy and the puppet. Was that Save Him mini game or something like that? Or Save Them mini game, I believe. I don't remember. But basically, Freddy follows the puppet around, and on occasion, he will run into the purple guy. And that was the first time we were ever introduced to this character, who we didn't realize the importance that he would have on the story of the original, era of FNAF. We were introduced to the purple guy, and this is what he looked like. So this is Purple Guy Sprite. He was represented this way through the 8-bit mini games. I don't know if he was actually purple or if that was just a design choice, but there's the back of the box. He, again, in the FNAF 1 office, he has the glowing 8-bit eyes, I suppose. Now, whether or not Purple Guy was around for FNAF 1 is up for debate, but judging by the 8-bit minigames at the end of FNAF 3, he was. And that is actually where he got stuck in the Springtrap suit. So, oh my gosh, this is so cool. We're about to talk about that in a second, thanks to this box. Here's Purple Guy Sprite. This is number 16 of the Five Nights at Freddy's collection. They made another Purple Guy figure that was like an actual human version of it. I did not get that one, just because, I don't know, I thought this was way cooler, which is kind of rare for me to turn down a piece of FNAF merch, but I just didn't really, I wasn't a big fan of it, so I went with this one instead, and I think it's a great choice, honestly. There's nothing on this side, but if you go to the back, it shows you the 8-bit minigame where the purple guy, what I just said, where the ghosts of the children that he had taken out and put into the animatronics that they possessed, they come back to haunt him, and they force him into the Spring Bonnie suit, which is when he becomes Springtrap. So that is awesome. It's also on the side there. On the side, it shows him inside the suit, just moments before he was taken, before he was spring locked and all that. So, and then the inside shows the FNAF 2 Sprite, which is what this one is based off of. So that's what it looks like. There is no dialogue on this box at all. But you know what? I don't think it's necessary. I think it makes more sense to have the 8-bit stuff on there. So that is really cool. So let's go ahead and open this one up. I gotta be honest, this is really cool that Youtooz made this. I was not expecting this figure, so this is really freaking cool. But there he is, Purple Guy Sprite. So what a cool looking figure this is. I think the only other piece of merchandise we had that was like this were the 8-bit figures that McFarlane Toys made a couple years ago. They made one on Purple Guy that looked just like this. So this one's really, really cool. He's got the little 8-bit eyes right there, the 8-bit Youtooz winky eyes. He also has the mouth open, which is very similar to, again, it's pretty accurate to the figure here. He's holding that thing in his hand, whatever that's supposed to be. A lot of theories back in the day thought it was a phone, and they said he was Phone Guy. Obviously, that has since been disproven. But he also has what appears to be a security guard badge on his chest there. So not sure why that's there, but maybe it's just to help him get security clearance so he can get into the building and do his evil deeds, or I don't know what that's about. But the bottom is also just the base here, just to kind of, it's supposed to be like in the minigame, it's supposed to be his feet, but they're gigantic in this figure. So it looks more like a base here, but this is really nice. And I hope that Youtooz does make some more 8-bit stuff, because there's a lot of potential options they could make out of that. So like 8-bit Baby, some of the 8-bit original animatronics, stuff like that. They can even do the 8-bit Springtrap, or Spring Bonnie, I guess. So hopefully they will do something like that, because this is really cool. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Let's do our ratings. Springtrap, I think, is only going to get an 8 out of 10. I like the details on the front, but again, missing that detail on the back kind of sucks. And I don't know why it's missing that detail, but that's obviously something that you want to see, and it wasn't there. So I got to give him only an 8 out of 10. Otherwise, because Springtrap's really cool, I think if that was there, it would have probably been at least a 9. Golden Freddy is probably going to get a 9 out of 10. I really, really like this one. I think they did a fantastic job. I really like the box. The box is giving him some bonus points right now. And I like the pose that he's in. Very reminiscent of his FNAF 1 appearance. So definitely warranted there. Purple guy also going to get a 9 out of 10. The feet are really goofy because they're huge in this case, but I guess they kind of had to be to keep the figure from falling. I don't know which I would have preferred, just a normal base under it or this. It's hard to say. But just the fact that they did an 8-bit figure is really, really cool, and I think it opens the possibilities of many more FNAF characters to come from Youtooz. But that's going to do it for today, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.